Good morning, thrill seekers, conversationalists, and superstar recruiters. This is another edition of Deep Recruiting coming to you every Monday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. Our goal is to give you the tools you need to succeed in recruiting and to become top earner. Now, last week we talked about regaining frame control, and it may not be a bad idea for you to go back and review that. Today, we're going to go over 12 more solutions to frame control to help you become more successful. The first one, full attribution to Chris Voss, who wrote the book Never Split the Difference, book I highly recommend. When a candidate makes a statement that you can't agree with, something you don't like, I want you to simply say, and tonality is really important here, I don't see how I could ever do that. I don't see how I could ever do that. That may not even be the best delivery. I don't see how I could ever do that. Try that a few times. Try it out when you're conducting an interview and the candidate says something preposterous, makes an absurd request. For example, the money they want is out of control, or they want the job you're interested in, but they only want to work remote. Whatever that thing is, again, I'm going to say it again. I hope you're taking notes. I don't see how I could ever do that. And you're going to need to say that with a seriousness of tone and sort of almost a dejectedness of tone, like it's just not going to work out. You just don't see how you could ever do that for the candidate. I think you're going to find that's going to be a really, really helpful tool for you, something you can really employ and make hay with. Now, number two, instead of qualifying yourself to the candidate, your job is to get them to qualify themselves to you. I want you to approach every single interaction you have with that kind of mentality. It is their job to qualify themselves to you, not the other way around. You are going to have to give them some meat and potatoes about you. Absolutely. I wouldn't say have it any other way. You do need to justify your qualifications, but you don't do it in a way that's going to make you seem desperate or out of control. Number three, you can never seem desperate. Just said that. Chasing the candidate demonstrates that you have lost control and you are not to be trusted. The person in this interaction, in this relationship that you have with a candidate, the person who wants less is the one who's going to be in control of the relationship and how that relationship actually works. So you don't want to be so desperate. You don't want to be constantly chasing them down. You want them chasing you because they're excited about the level of service you're going to deliver. Number four, let your actions control your emotions instead of your emotions controlling you. I've done some bright bombs on this in the past, but you can affect how you feel and the image you give off by simply controlling your body language. If you smile, you're naturally going to be a whole lot happier. If you scowl, you're not going to be as happy. If you speak with a lot of energy, you're going to come across as more energetic. You're going to feel more energetic. I was watching an old performance back from the 80s of a band, and the lead singer was moving around the stage, kind of hopping and bouncing to the song, and a recent live version of it from 2023, and he just stood there. And the song just, it was played the same, it sounded the same, but the song just didn't have the energy it did 40 years ago. The energy you put into something is the energy people are going to get out of it. And you can control your emotions by your body language. So focus on that. Number five, if you're not controlling the frame of that conversation, then you are just an order taker. We've got way too many order takers in the recruiting business. Hey, are you available and looking for a new opportunity? No, I'm not. Oh, okay. Sorry to bother you. Click. If that conversation sounds like something you've done, you're nothing but an order taker. Hey, how much money are you looking for? Well, I need $100,000 a year. Gosh darn it, my job only pays $90,000. Well, thanks a bunch. Talk to you later. Click buy. That's an order taker. A professional controls the frame of that conversation because they're looking for an opportunity to make that sale actually happen. Number 6 is to establish control by asking why questions. Very simple one is, why is that so important to you? Why is remote the only option for you? Or why is remote not an option for you? Why your candidate might try to get control by asking, why does your client require a bachelor's degree? And you might ask, why can't you grow your career where you're at? These why questions, and I'm sure you can think of a dozen of them easily that you can ask again and again and again. They're going to help you really, truly control the frame of the overall conversation. Number 7, if we have to explain ourselves to a candidate, it displays instant weakness, and frankly, you're out. They're never going to trust you. They may work with you. You may even place them, but that is displaying weakness. They're never going to trust you. Never feel that need that you have to explain or justify everything you're doing. Maybe a little bit here and there, but you've really got to control those explanations. People that explain too much, nobody trusts them. Makes it sound like you're being dishonest. Number 8, stay engaged at all times in that conversation. If you're bored, then you've lost frame. You've lost control of that conversation, and you're going to come across as that weak pleaser type. So stay engaged in that conversation. The easiest way to do that, good eye contact, ask questions. Ask questions that are going to stimulate a passionate response, okay? Number 9, when you need the candidate to make a decision, provide them with 2 choices, never more than 2. More than 2, that creates problems for you. It creates hesitation. It creates challenges. Okay. You give somebody 3, 4, 5 different options. All of a sudden they're asking you questions. They're trying to validate things. It's no good for you. Limit it to 2 questions. Number 10 of 12. If you are the one seeking rapport with a candidate, you'll have lost frame. And once again, you're going to be perceived as that weak pleaser type. Number 11, if your tone goes up at the end of a sentence, my friend, you have lost control. Nobody likes to listen to that. I listened to a 3-part series on a podcast I do enjoy, and they had a special guest on. And that guest, at the end of every sentence, would lift his voice because there was more to understand about what happened at XYZ, and it was really annoying, just like I'm being right now. Don't do that. No one wants to hear that. When you make a statement, make sure your voice inflection goes down at the end of that sentence. That emphasizes your point. That establishes control. That establishes that you're confident and you know what you're doing. And number 12, this one's a big one, is really, really bad eye contact. I used to suffer from this. I wouldn't look people in the eyes. People wouldn't trust me. And when it was pointed out to me, oh boy, and I began practicing it, and it was a lot of work. I had to practice it conversation after conversation after conversation to make sure I was maintaining that good eye contact like I'm doing right now with the camera. So go back through this, listen to this again. If you missed anything, this has been Deep Recruiting. We're excited that you're here. We're excited that you're paying attention to this. We're excited that you're growing your career. Please email us your questions at deeprecruiting@teamgtn.com. I'll make sure that's in the notes. We would love to hear your questions. If you've got issues you're dealing with and you'd like some help, we'll do it on the air. We'll keep it confidential. Tune in next Monday, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. We'll have a brand new topic. Thanks a bunch, and happy selling, everybody. Take care.